Very good morning, children. Today we are going to learn a very beautiful poem by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a great poet, romantic poet, a nature poet, and his Lucy poems are very famous. He has considered nature as a female character and gave name to the female character Lucy. So it is considered, but whatever it may be, but he is a very great romantic poet. As you see, a slumber did my spirit see. This is a very fantastic poem composed by William Wordsworth. Actually, it is an elegy. The writer, the poet is describing over the death of his beloved loved one. That's why it is an elegy. The poet says that now his beloved is dead and he had no fears. Anyway, we will enjoy the poem. Before that, let us see about the great poet William Wordsworth, romantic poet. William Wordsworth was a great romantic poet who, with St. Coleridge, contributed a lot for the English literature in the Romantic age with their joint publication, Lyrical Ballads. So it was their joint publication of St. Coleridge and William Wordsworth, Lyrical Ballads. It was published in 1798. His prelude is considered to be the crowning achievement of English Romanticism. So he was such a great poet, and as I told you, he is also called the nature poet. This is the great man. Okay, we are going to study his work, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal. Now about the poem. In this poem, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal, the poet tells us about his beloved, who was young and beautiful woman, died and trapped beneath the surface of the earth. It is one of his Lucy poems, as I told you earlier. The poet says that now she becomes a thing and revolves along with the earth. The poet gives an eternal message of life. He has expressed his grief over the death of a loved one. Hence, it is an elegy. I told you, elegy is a poem that gives the description of dead one, dead, beloved ones. Now we'll enjoy the poem. A slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. A slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. Roll round in earth's diurnal course with rocks and stones and trees. So it's a very simple poem, very simple words, but it has got a very deep meaning. See once again the poem. A slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing now that she could not feel the touch of earthly years. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. Roll round in earth's diurnal course with rocks and stones and trees. Now see, observe the rhyming words of the poem here. Fears, seal rhymes with feel. Fears rhymes with ears. Force rhymes with course. And seas rhymes with trees. So the rhyming words are seal, feel, fears, ears, force, course, seas and trees. These are the pair of rhyming words. And the rhyming scheme, if we talk about the rhyming scheme, A, B, A, B, okay, like this, A, B, A, okay, A, B, A. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. Now, next, see the appreciation of the poem or the words you appear here in the very poem. Slumber. Slumber means deep sleep, that is death. in the poem here. Spirit means soul, inner power, poet's inner power. Seal means close, seem, appear, earthly, related to the earth. Motion means moment, force means power, diurnal means year, period of a day, course means path, and earthly years means passing time. These are the keywords that you should remember to enjoy the poem. Then we will see the appreciation of the poem, main points of the poem. This poem is about the death of loved one. The poem is on the poet's feeling about the beloved whom he thinks her after death. The poet shows his satisfaction over the death of his beloved. She has no human fears like sorrow, worries of life, as she is dead now. She is senseless and has become a part of nature. Time has no effect on her as she is buried under the surface. Okay. Now, next we will see theme of the poem. The poem Slumber Did My Spirit See is an elegy, as a poem is about the death of his beloved. Like the other Lucy poems, William Wordsworth, that is also a Lucy poem, but with one unique thing is that in the very poem the poet didn't mention the name. Otherwise, in all the other poems, somewhere William Wordsworth mentioned the word or the name Lucy. That's why it is said that William Wordsworth is a Lucy poet. But this is the unique quality of the Slumber Did My Spirit See, that poet William Wordsworth, he didn't mention the name of Lucy, and that's why we can say that it is also a Lucy poem. The poet describes his imagination about his beloved after death. So, how she would be after death? The poet says so many indications are given. She has no motion, no power, means she is senseless, she is dead. She neither sees nor hears. That indicates that she is dead. And now she had no human fears. Now, what are the human fears? We had seen in the previous slide. Human fears means worries, tension, okay, and the earthly years. Earthly years means passing time. The poet says that she has no motion, no force, because she is dead now. Poet says she became a thing. She cannot hear, she cannot seize, so she become a thing now. And as she is now buried under the surface of earth, now she become a thing, and she is rolling round along with the stones and trees. Okay, because she became a thing now, she didn't have the effect of passing years also. That is earthly years the poet is talking about. He also talks about the earthly years, means time and period will have no effects on her, as she is no more now. They cannot make her older. They cannot make her older. So it is the strong imagination of the poet that how his beloved would be after death. In the second stanza, the poet is describing her dead body. As she is dead now, she is unable to perform any physical activity. By saying the words like motion and force, okay, poet says that, okay, now she is motionless, she has no force, means she is dead. Her physical activity is now zero. She becomes a thing. In the last two lines, the poet describes that she is now buried under the earth, and as the earth completes its routine of the day and night with the rocks, stones and trees, so does the beloved of the poet is now. See the idea of the poet. Poet is saying that and now she became a thing, she is buried under the surface, and along with the stones and trees and rocks, she is moving. She is moving along with all these things, the diurnal course of the earth. The diurnal course of earth is the period of earth that takes to complete one round, that is 24 hours, that is diurnal, and course means the path, okay, in which the earth moves. See the imagination of the poet. And now she became a thing. So by saying she became a thing and moving, okay, along with the Earth's diurnal course, poet here wants to suggest that she became a part of a nature. She became a part of the nature. That's why he says she has become a part of the nature. The poet concludes with her afterlife. So afterlife, how she would be, the poet says. Okay. Now once again we recapitulate. We just how the glance over the poem. I am going to read out once more. Okay, for you. A slumber did my spirit seem. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing that could not feel no the touch of earthly years. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. Roll round in earth's diurnal course with rocks and stones and trees. Now here are some questions for you. What had sealed the poet's spirit? The poet says, a slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. So what is that thing? What had sealed the poet's spirit? So answer is the slumber. Slumber means that is death of his beloved. Yes. Now second question, what slumber is the poet talking about? The same answer, it is the death of his beloved. What could she not feel now? What she could not feel now. So she could not feel the earthly years. Okay. So feeling, motions and force. She had no motion, no force. So she could not feel the human fears. Human fears. What is meant by human fears? Human fears means the worries in the world, related to the world. Okay, worries, tensions, fear of death, like that. Why can't she hear or see? So she cannot hear or see because she is dead now. She is no more. What is meant by Earth's diurnal course? I told you, Earth's diurnal course, the period of Earth that is 24 hours it takes to complete day and night. What change according to the poet has come in her? Now she became a thing. She has no motion, no power, and she became a thing. She became a part of nature. Do you think the poet is sad or relief? Is the poet sad or in relief? So naturally poet is in sad mood because he is shocked with the sudden death of his beloved. See the model answer here. The death of his beloved, deep sleep, that is death. She could not feel any effect of time now. It means the common worries and fears of human fears, because she is dead now. It is the daily rotation of the earth's diurnal course. She is buried and becomes a part of nature, and the poet is in grief. So here is a homework for you. Write down the summary of the poem. A slumber did my spirit seal, and also pick out the rhyming words from the poem, and also write down the rhyming scheme of the poem. Okay, this is very important. If you want to really enjoy the poem, you should know everything. So to summarize the poem, a slumber did my spirit seal. It's an elegy. It is written on the death of a poet's beloved, and the poet is describing his beloved after her death, and he said that how she is now carefree. She has no effect of earthly years. Okay, she cannot feel the human fears, and how she became a thing and is rolling around the earth's diurnal course and become a part of nature. Very beautiful poem. Okay, so I like it very much. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you once more. Thank you.